Ukraine war latest. Russia's war enters new phase, says Zelensky. Kyiv Independent. Russia's war against Ukraine has entered a new phase, with winter expected to complicate fighting and the world's attention diverted to the Israel-Hamas war, President Volodymyr Zelensky told the Associated Press in an interview published on Deck. Despite all the setbacks, Ukraine has managed to regain more territory occupied by Russia since the start of the full-scale invasion and degrade Russian capabilities in the Black Sea, the president saw. Id. Below are your comments. Vladimir Putin is one of the greatest leaders of the 21st century. He brought Russia out from the geopolitical catastrophe of the collapse of the USSR and turned the country back into a global power and a great nation, and once again something to make their people proud and glorious. A true patriot. How about you negotiate instead of surrender if you truly care about your people? There's two things will happen after that. The slaughter will stop and your people can rebuild. You continue fighting to the last Ukrainian, all for nothing but ego bruised and maybe lost the whole Ukraine and still Yes, it is a new phase. Kiev total defeat. The final phase. Next news. Israel publishes map of Gaza Strip zones to help civilians evacuate as fighting resumes. Fox News. Israel's military has published a map that it says will help civilians in the Gaza Strip reach safe areas if they are ordered to evacuate due to fighting. Below are your comments. It's pretty simple really. Stay away from hospitals, day care centers, and UN schools where Hamas hides their weapons and centers. You're safer out in the middle of the street. Hamas must be eradicated completely. Palestinians are responsible for Hamas and they are just guilty. If they want to live, they must fight against Hamas. So, in an attempt to avoid unnecessary civilian casualties in Gaza, the IDF is essentially telling Hamas where it is going to strike next. If Israel has dropped thousands upon thousands of bombs on a place no bigger than Chicago, would there be all these buildings standing? Thousands upon thousands. Continuously for the last 75 years. Yet look. And when did they have time to pave the roads with all this non-stop bombing? Could it? And then they'll bomb the safe zones. Next news. Russian and Ukrainian human rights commissioners visit Ukrainian and Russian prisoners of war. Ukrainska Pravda. Representatives of the Ukrainian and Russian human rights commissioners' offices have visited 119 Russian prisoners of war held in Ukraine and 119 Ukrainian prisoners of war held in Russia, respectively. Below are your comments. Russia will not ever give anyone access to all its prisoners, only a tiny fraction staged for the pure pose, or more likely bunch of Russian-speaking broken Ukrainian pretending they are Ukrainian prisoners. Russia lies and cheats always. Try to find the truth about this war in Russia. Putin's Russia has a human rights commissioner like an elephant is scared of a mouse. Isn't Russian human rights a bit of a contradiction in terms? Moscow speaks and reports on December 1, 2023. The Russian military took control of the city of Mariinka in the Donetsk People's Republic, the southern federal district of Russia. Russian soldiers and Russian weapons destroyed all the Ukrainian fascist invaders in the city of Mariinka. Next news. Ethiopia pilgrims return to Aksum for festival in Ark of Covenant City. BBC. Aksum's authorities say 500,000 people are there for the first time since the Tigray War and Below are your comments. Lol, this place is tribalism. They aren't embracing nationalism. Many African nations have become tribalism. They learned from their colonialists how they divided the continent. The elites pick up on that. As you can see, they aren't displaying solidarity, they are flying their tribal flag. Shame on you. No one is allowed to see it? Because there is no such thing. Well, howdy pilgrim. Pilgrims in Africa? Are you sure? Oh, they're on their pilgrimage. Ethiopia should be careful. Please subscribe to my channel. And if you like it, please thumbs up.